Hi guys. According to an article in Insider magazine by Darcy Shield, DIY tie-dyeing your clothes has become one of the most popular quarantine trends out there. I'm sure many of you can relate to me when I say that quarantine left me bored out of my mind at home with nothing to do. And since I was so bored, I tried my hand at a bunch of different crafts and new hobbies, and I'm going to talk about one of them today. One of my favorite things to do now is to bleach tie-dye my clothes. I first discovered this project because I was just at home watching a YouTuber named Jenna Marbles and her video called Tie-Dyeing My Clothes with Bleach. And I watched her have a lot of fun doing that, so it inspired me to do it myself. I'm usually not a super crafty person, but quarantine gave me really no choice but to develop some of those new skills. So doing this is definitely achievable for beginners. So in my speech, I'm going to explain the entire bleach tie-dyeing process, from making the bleach solution to rubber banding your clothes to make different patterns, to then the aftercare of your clothes after you do the bleach tie-dyeing. So what you'll need is bleach, rubber bands, a spray bottle, water, gloves, a shirt to tie-dye, and plastic bags. So what I'm doing here is I am mixing up the bleach solution in my spray bottle. Make sure that you wear gloves during this part because bleach can really dry out your hands. You're going to want to make a 1 part bleach, 1 part water solution. And the way I do this, I have a spray bottle that has volume markings on it, so it makes it really, really easy for me to do that. What I'm doing in this video is I'm demonstrating the spiral pattern of doing bleach tie-dye. So wearing gloves, what you'll do is you'll grab the middle of the shirt and then twist around until the shirt is in like a circle. And then you'll take 5 or 6 rubber bands and then start making pizza sections, I like to call them, on your shirt. And I usually do mine pretty even because it just makes for a more even spiral. Another thing to mention is that you should make sure that both of your shirts are wet before you do this because it helps the bleach to sink in a little bit more. So this next pattern that you'll see me doing is called the crumple pattern. And so what you'll do in this technique is you'll kind of just grab random parts of the shirt and crumple them up. And then you'll use rubber bands in the exact same way that I showed you guys how to do before that. Another thing I just wanted to mention is that if you do decide to bleach tie-dye, you can use regular tie-dye after that and put it on the bleach parts, and it creates really good designs with that too. So now that we have rubber banded the shirts up, we're going to spray the shirts. So I'm spraying the spiral pattern shirt first, and with the spiral pattern, I prefer to spray every other section because I find that just gives a better spiral in the end. Now I'm doing the crumple pattern, and with this one, I prefer to spray the entire shirt just because crumpling the shirt up causes more of the black parts of the shirt to be kind of hidden by the rubber bands. So it'll be better for you to spray the entire thing down with bleach. So now that you've seen me spray both shirts with bleach, I'm going to start talking about aftercare for these shirts. What you're going to want to do is put each shirt in its own plastic bag, and you're going to want to let them sit in those bags for about 30 minutes to allow the bleach to develop and take the dye out of the clothes. After you give your shirts 30 minutes to sit, you're going to want to take them out of the bags and then start slowly rinsing them with cold water and kind of wringing all of the leftover dye out of your shirt until it runs clear, like you can see here in the video. And then once it runs clear, you're going to want to take the rubber bands off of the shirt. Once you take your rubber bands off your shirt, you're going to want to rinse it even more in your sink with cold water until the water runs absolutely clear, because you don't want any leftover dye to be in the shirt in the places where you bleached it. And here's some video footage of me rinsing out the other shirt that I did in the crumple pattern. It had a lot more dye to wash out. Um, so after you do this step, you're going to want to put both shirts in your washing machine with no other clothing in it, because you don't want it to accidentally dye any other of your clothing items. And you'll want to run them on a wash cycle with cold water, and then you can dry them with your dryer and enjoy the final product. So, in conclusion, today I laid out for you guys how to bleach tie-dye from beginning to end. Something I also wanted to mention was that after you do this bleach tie-dye, you can use like regular tie-dye colors and lay it on top of the bleach, and that creates a really fun effect. I know we're not all stuck at home anymore like I was during the pandemic, but definitely don't wait until the next global pandemic to start crafting. Um, Hopefully, I'll be able to put pictures here and here of how the shirts turned out, and I hope you had fun learning how to bleach tie-dye.